It's great, it's honor great. He is Archbishop, Apostolsкі Nunцый in our community. Great Archbishop Gabar as a dear guest in our community. Great His Excellency Alexander, His Excellency Joseph. Our community is little, no big. Our community have dynamic hope and love and faith. Students from Nigeria, from Sri Lanka, Cameroon, Cameroon. Great, His Excellency in our church. Song is a presentation. His presentation of our faith, presentation our greeting, His Excellency in our church. Now invite any leader group students. We present our group students from Nigeria, group students, foreign students, Catholic students in our church.
Good morning, Your Excellency, Your Holiness. Officially, the foreign students started about 6 years ago with a few students who are not here anymore. But over the years, we have grown to become as many as you can see now. Sadly, we lost one of our very good friends, and he was the coordinator before I was. We lost him a month ago. Yes, sadly. But over time, through faith, love, and hope, we have continued to stay strong. And we have mostly students from Nigeria and Sri Lanka. Most of us are medical students, although we have some maybe from engineering, but mostly medical students. And we have a group of executives, 6 or 7 members who are in the crowd: Reginald, Osai, Patricia, Chinonso. And Nigeria is a big country. We mostly have different languages. So English language is our lingua franca. Okay. But we are very, very pleased to have you here. It's an honor. Father Anthony has been very, I can't even find words to describe how much he has helped us. Coming here, we didn't know anybody, we didn't know the language. He took it to himself to learn English, and he has been having mass for us. He has taken us to different places. He took us to Poland for the World Youth Day. So we are grateful for him. Also, we have Alina, who is always here and patient. Yeah, she always she interprets for us. And we also, through her, we got to meet Lilia and her husband, Powell. They've supported us in so many ways. The Reverend Sister Bishop Joseph, who we always meet in different places we go to. And as such, we are very grateful, and we feel like we're at home, far away from home. And we hope through your prayers, because our country is currently going through some economic and religious issues, we hope that you will pray for us, and we also hope that maybe someday we could visit you wherever you are. So thank you for coming. We are very, very, very grateful. It's an honor to have you here. Thank you, sir.
So I'm also very happy to be here with you. I have never thought that it will happen. I have to tell you, just 2 weeks ago, I have known that we will have this meeting, and it's for me just a very big surprise and a very big joy. I couldn't imagine that there is such a big group here in Grodno from Africa. And my first question was when I have when I've heard that we will come here, that what they are doing in Grodno. And of course, I have thought that you are studying, but it was not so clear. But anyway, I'm really glad to know that you have these scholarships and you can study here. It's a very great and very long tradition in this area. You know, I'm Hungarian. I'm coming from Hungary originally, and also in my country there are a lot of scholarships for the African students since a long time. And it is, first of all, of course, it's a big help, but not only. It makes a lot of friendships. It makes to know each other much better, and to know that the other people who are living in another continent, in another country, they are the same people as we are. They are thinking in the same way. They are praying in the same way. They have the same faith, what we can share in the Catholic Church, for example. So it's a really big joy that I'm here, and I don't know, what do you know about an apostolic nuncio? Exactly, that's the real interpretation. It's an ambassador, but it's not only. You know, the apostolic nuncio, this is the traditional name of the ambassadors. Many years ago, not only the ambassador of the Pope was called apostolic nuncio, but also other ambassadors were nuncios. The nuncio, the word nuncio, means somebody who is sent to somewhere to represent the king, the imperator, or the Pope. And the first Congress of Vienna in 1815 decided that this traditional name is only for the apostolic nuncio, so the representative of the Pope, and all other ambassadors are ambassadors. Why this difference? Because the first diplomacy was born in the Catholic Church. The first diplomats were the legates, the ambassadors of the Pope, already 1,700 years ago. And the first ambassadors who were stable already in the countries, like now we have everywhere ambassadors, they were sent by the Pope in 1401. That in that time were established the first embassies in the world, and the first embassies were done by the Pope. So the diplomacy was born in the Catholic Church, and for that the apostolic nuncio and the diplomacy of the Pope has some privilege in the diplomacy. Also, in many countries, for example, the apostolic nuncio, the ambassador of the Pope, is the doyen, the dean of the diplomatic corps. Anyway, that is just a little historical background. The reason why I'm here now as ambassador of the Pope, because I was appointed just half a year ago. I have arrived half a year ago, and my job is also to visit the whole country, to visit the different dioceses, and to know much better, not only from my office and by papers, but also to visit the different dioceses and to see the people who live there, like you here. So I can now report the Pope that I have met in Grodno, in Belarus, with a big group of African students. It's really a curiosity, and for me also, but in the Vatican yet more. So I'm doing now my work. I am visiting one by one the different dioceses of Belarus. I meet the bishops, the priests, the sisters, the religious people, and all other, the parishes. Also today I will visit 3 different parishes here, tomorrow again. So I'm doing now my work, and it's a great joy to be with you meanwhile I'm doing my work, because it's of course something different now in this area. You know the history of this land. It's a very difficult history. these people, the Belarus people, has suffered a lot during the centuries, and they have suffered also the last time because of the atheism. During the Soviet time, the church was almost completely cancelled in this country. So yesterday I told to another group, the catechists, that for me it's a real miracle what I'm seeing here in this country. After 70 years of so strong and aggressive atheism, when the church was almost nothing, there were only some priests for the whole country. Now I am seeing a church what is living, what is dynamic, what is working incredibly well, perhaps also better than in some other European countries. So it's a real miracle what is going on here, and you are part of this miracle. You know, I'm coming also from a so-called socialist or communist country. Hungary was also part of this group, but it was not so hard than here. The church in Hungary was much more free than here. This kind of life I have just known from books and from documentaries and talking with the people from here. For us, also for you, I think, it is unimaginable what has happened here during 70 years. So we can be very happy that it's over, and now there is a newborn church here. The church is always going on since 2000 years. Sometimes there are groups and ideologies which want to kill it, but it's impossible because it is from God.
My name is Sylvester. My question I want to ask is about Blessed Virgin Mary.
Yes.
So the question is, the Bible tells us that Jesus Christ is the only way, the truth, and the life, and no one comes to the Father except through Christ. So my question is, I want to know Mary's role in our salvation and why we pray to her. Whether she intercedes directly to the Father or to the Son. That's the question.
Your question is absolutely true, and I understand it well. But you know, these questions are discussed since many centuries in the history of the church, and there are hundreds of books about this question. So, of course, I cannot summarize now in some sentences what you are asking, but I will try to answer anyway. So, the figure of Mary is and was always absolutely important in the church for many reasons. Of course, also the reason that we humanity, the whole humanity, we live as man and woman. So for us, when we imagine, even if God is not man and not woman, God is absolutely above of that. But we need, because we are thinking always just with the experiences what we have in our life. We cannot imagine what means the life of God. We don't know what is eternity. We don't know what is living without time. We cannot imagine the real God. We will see it hopefully after our life on the world. We will see how is it, and we hope that we can participate in the life of God. But we can now just thinking with the concepts what we have from our experience. And for that, it's very, very important for us, for example, that in the church and in the whole creation, there are two types of mankind. There are women and there are men. And for us in the church, in the Catholic Church, in the Christianity, Mary, the figure of Mary is the example for us. Mary is not God, but is part of the life of God, part of the creation, part of the plan of God. She was elected to be mother of Son of God, and for her. So when we think about Mary, the first what we have to realize that she was from the eternity part of the plan of God, as we are also, every of us, we are part of the creation, we are part of the plan. Every person, everybody, every of you, we are part of this plan of God. But one of the most important person who was part of this plan is Mary, who could give us the Son of God. By Mary came God among us. It's a very special, very important role. And you know what? Why Mary is so special for us? Because even if we talk about God and the willing of God, that was the willing of God to come among us. The huge God, we cannot imagine how is the being of God, and he has decided to come among us, to live with us, to show that God is among us, because he respected, he loved us so much that he wanted to be part of the humanity. But to come to us, also this huge God needed somebody of us, a person who was Mary, who could make born this Son of God. Without Mary, would be not Jesus among us. Without Mary, we couldn't imagine how is it when God is among us. And the very special role and the very special decision of Mary, that she has given her yes to God. So without this yes, Jesus wouldn't be with us. God has given the possibility to Mary to accept or not to accept this role. That is fantastic if you think about that the huge God asks something from one human being, and this human being can say yes or not, as we can say also yes or not to the willing of God. God has given us a great possibility to live according his rules, according his plan. But we can refuse it. We can say, no, I don't want it. And God accepts it. And God respects our willing also if we say no. We are respected and loved so much that he has given this fantastic freedom to us. And that was the freedom of Mary also, that she could say yes or no. And she said yes, and by that the Son of God born among us. So the role, the special role of Mary is, first of all, in that she has had the humility to say yes, and even if in that context, you can imagine, you know well from the gospel, the story, how was it, and you know, to have a son, she knew it very well. To have a son without a father, it was a big shame for her. But she said yes because she understood that it is willing of God, and she has had the faith. So I think everything, every moment of the life of Mary is an example for us. How to say yes, how to accept the willing of God, how to be also humble to do it. And also we have the possibility to refuse if you don't want it. So the whole life of Mary is an example for us, and she is the figure, the woman figure for us in the creation, in the plan of God, what we can follow. I know that it was just a little part of your question, but I don't think that we can go now more deep, because we should talk, I think, some days about that at least. But anyway, perhaps you can with that go ahead. Okay, you know, a message is always very complex, because there are many aspects of a message, but I think that I have tried already to underline the importance of your life here in Belarus, what is possible also by scholarships, but it's possible also because this country is again free, and this country has the possibility to receive you, and also for you there is the possibility to live your religiosity, your faith free without any difficulties. It's a fantastic phenomenon what you can see in this country. So as I have started to talk about, I think that this miracle, what we are living all together, you and me and all who live in this country, that of course there are a lot of difficulties. Don't think that I don't see that there are a lot of difficulties in this country, in the society, in the economy, in the politics and every. Of course, there is no perfect society, there is no perfect person, there is no, it's absolutely clear. But the base, the fundament of this society was what was able to reborn, and this country, what has our own freedom after many centuries again. This is a miracle what we live together. And I think that your most important role as Catholics in this country, in this city, you are a testimony of your faith, of the Catholic faith. Most of the people who see you together or also one by one in the city, they know you have a lot of friends, you meet a lot of people here. More and more you speak also the language. The people see you and they see how you practice your faith, how you practice your religion. You are participate in the church events, and by that you are testimony of Christ among these people. You are testimony also in that society who was without the possibility to practice their religion, and because of that, many people are yet afraid also to go to the church. They are afraid to pray, even if perhaps they have a little faith. They are looking for God, but they have had no contact, they have had no relation with God or with the church and so on. So for people who are looking for something, perhaps they don't know not even that they are looking for Jesus, they are looking for faith in God. They don't know, just something is missing in their life. You are signs of Christ for these people. You are signs, you are testimony that we are living according the rules, according the teach of Jesus. And we want to show that it is good. We are happy people, we are doing all our best, and by that you can be sign and you can be also an invitation for many people here who are looking for God.
I wanted to ask two small questions. First one, I wanted to know, at what point, like, okay, we're taught that when a person dies, you pray for the person's soul, because you probably don't know where it is, so you pray for God to accept the person's soul. I want to know, at what point do you stop praying, or is it through the extent of your own life that you pray for this dead person's soul? That's the first question. The second question is, how do you know when to, when you want to ask God for something, maybe something in the future that you need for your life, you pray about it, and the Bible teaches us to be consistent in prayer, but also, people's opinion is always the point that you need to have faith that God has done it for you, right? So I want to know, at what point does it become a conflict where you keep praying about the same thing? Does it seem like you have lost faith that God has already done it? Or, yes. So do you keep hammering on the same prayer, or you just rest, have peace that God has done it, and then let me just wait?
Yes, I see, I understand you well. You know, you are touching by these questions, you are touching the very deep of our faith, really, very deep and very, very important questions are. So, to the first question, to pray for the dead people. You know, first of all, I'd like to underline that the prayer, what we are doing, it is not a necessity of God, it's our necessity. We need to pray. God is okay and complete also without our prayer. It is not like that, that he would live from our prayer. We need the prayer, because by the prayer we are in contact with God. Our relation with God is through our prayer. Even prayer when we are not saying anything. I think, you know, it is not necessary always to repeat the prayers what we have studied or to read some text and pray by that. Even if you are here in the church or in your room at home alone and you do not anything, you don't have any text, you are just put yourself in the presence of God. You think that God, we are together. It's already prayer. Without saying anything, just to be in silence. That's prayer. The prayer is our need, not the need of God. So don't think that you have to put or to give prayers to God because by that, let's say, you can buy the willing of God. Of course not. So the prayer is our need. So when we pray also for that people, of course it is not the need of God, it is our need that we have to remember these dead people. We have to work up also that we lost these people. And what we can do other, we can just to put in our presence between God and me, I can put these dead people. Also our family, also friends and so on. We are together, we are in community, God and me and these dead people. We are in community. As you know, we are praying that in the Credo every Sunday at least, or more times also. The church is not only the people who are living on the earth. The church is also the saints who are already in heaven. All the dead people who are already by God, they are also part of the church. We are one community. They are praying for us and we are praying for them. That's our community. That's a family. For that we need to pray also for them, not concretely that God please take him or take her or some. God knows what to do. We don't have to convince God that what he has to do about. So we just pray because we need to have this community and let it to go to decide what to do. I'm sure he knows it. So that's the first question. The second question also a little bit similar to this. You know, I know many people are praying for that. Please, God, give me that. Please, I'd like that. Please help me at the exam. Please, I'd like to go there. Help me, and so on. Of course, that's our need also, to put our wish, our desires before God. And it's not bad. Of course, you can do it. The only thing what we cannot do, that if something is not happening as we want, we say, oh no, so God has not given, so I don't believe anymore. Of course, it's a stupidity. It's not possible. According to me, first of all, it's good always to put our desires, our thoughts, our wishes, our whole life to put before God. God, this is my life. I am doing that and that. I'd like to do that and that. My wish, my desire to do that. Please help me if it is possible. Please help me. But your willing is the most important. Just to put in his hands our willing, our desires, and accept, because he knows much better what we need. You know, I can say also personally, I have done for a long time, when I was younger, this type of prayer. Please, God, do that. Please, I'd like to that. Sometimes happens, sometimes not. But if I think now about my life, what has happened, I can just realize that everything what happened in my life was the plan of God, even if it was against my willing. Now I know it. Of course, it's not easy to know when you are in the situation. It's very difficult to accept something what is against your willing. Accept that, why it is happening with me? Why now? Why here? Why that? It's very difficult. But you have to believe, even if I don't know now in this moment. But it is the willing of God. And God is able to change everything to our goodness, to change. Doing something wrong, it is happening. Wrong, what is not God willing. But if we put in his hands also these problems, our failures, he is able to change it and to make something good also from the bad. And for that, our prayers has to be, according my opinion, our prayers have to be, first of all, just to put in God's hands our willing, our desires, our whole life, and to accept that, Lord, I'd like that, but I accept what will happen. I accept from your hands what is happening, because I know that you know much better how is my life and what I need.